Understand what I mean by life system, try to look at it as a computer system. Okay, computer system, what does it have? The operating system, right? You have to upgrade it, probably a few times a year. So it is either a minor upgrade or a major upgrade. So we need to look at our own life system and our own life, our body and our mind and our how we run our life. At times we need to look at where it is right now and what we need to do next in terms of that upgrade. So I've written a couple of points here. Okay, any system works on what? Let's say your body clock works on a timing. It works on a rhythm. It has a regular system. Okay, and it knows exactly when certain things would happen. The planet Earth also works on a system. The growth of a plant also works on a system. So everything works on a rhythm. Night and day, all those things. It's just a mathematical construct of the universe and how God has created. So how we have to live our life also should be on a system. In that way, we can optimize and harmonize with the way our body and our mind functions. So with that system, even though no matter how you could say ad hoc you could be, I'm a kind of person who is very creative. I'm very spontaneous. I can do radical things. But I found that when I followed a certain system, my whole life would go through an upgrade. And that system is really a daily thing. I would ask you, how would you start your day? Every morning, do you wake up at a fixed time? Do you have your breakfast at a fixed time? Do you have any idea how you start your day? Or you just wake up and then you rush off to work? No. For me, I learned over time because I've been an entrepreneur for so long. And I had to bring in the corporate thinking of systems into my own self. As an entrepreneur, you are driven by more within. You don't get instructions from outside. And really, we all need to be like that. We need to be all entrepreneurs in our thinking, but very, very methodical and creative entrepreneurs. And that system that we have, that will actually be a foundation for us to build on and then to grow up from there. So working out a fixed time for certain things, and yet being flexible. Like for me, I'll tell you my morning routine. And it doesn't matter whether it's a weekend or a weekday, because I don't differentiate between weekends and weekdays. For me, every day is important. And every day requires a rest time. And every day requires some enjoyment. So it's not just, let me look forward to the weekend of TGIF, and then I would have my rest, I have my relaxation, my enjoyment. No, that's not the way I would look at it. So I found that when we really put in that system into our daily life, that fun and enjoyment, that discipline, that fixed timing for certain things that need to be done every day. So it becomes habitual that you don't even need to think anymore. It's like riding a bike or driving a car for the first time. You know exactly what needs to be done, and it becomes automatic. So what I do every day is I do my meditation and prayer. I try to fix a certain time. If I don't follow it exactly, sometimes I'm a bit tired, I still do it. Even if it's a half an hour, 1 hour late, I still make sure I do it. And having some exercises. A little bit of exercise. I do 50 push-ups every morning and 50 squats. At first it was very hard for me, but I just made sure I would try to do it every morning. If I miss it in the morning, I would try to make up for it later part of the day. And don't forget, I had autoimmune disease. So my arms was serious pain. So that could be overcome. I overcome that. Now, yes, I would do those things. Deep breathing exercise every morning. 5 minutes is enough. And then, some reflection is preparing the points of what I need to do today. So that is part of the system. I wonder whether do you do that. So put it part of it. And I try to carry with me a notepad or a sketch pad. And whenever I have ideas, wherever I go, I sketch it out. And it's so useful for me because it helps me with my new books. It helps me with any projects which I'm planning to launch. So carry that notepad. Not a mobile phone. Mobile phone you carry with you, but something where you can sketch on. So this is a system in a way that I incorporate in my life. And then I found I was sketching so many things and so many new ideas are coming up. And sketching is artistic. So we need to draw it out, and that's when the creativity flows in. So the structure and the creativity with the flow is a wonderful, harmony and relationship they bring into our life. So, yes, this is what I want to share with you. Also, the other thing about rhythm and timing is that also your sleep time. What time you try to sleep? I try to make sure I sleep no later than 12 midnight. Sometimes 1 a.m. But, not later than that if I'm really busy. And I always make sure I wake up early in the morning, but not too early in the morning. So it's just something which I plan for myself. You do the same thing. So that your body is comfortable, that you don't strain your body. This is all part of the upgrading of the system. When you strain your body with mixed kind timings, you take your body back and you bring down its ability to sustain itself and be healthy. Many people who age fast is because they have this erratic timing. So, yes, sleep time should be regular. And also, there's one thing I follow very firmly, is I do nighttime fasting as much as possible. We are sleeping, we don't eat, right? When you're sleeping, we don't eat. But to maintain a 13-hour minimum of not eating during the night. So this means you have dinner at 8 p.m., your breakfast should be at 9 a.m. That 13-hour minimum is so amazing for the body that I'll share with you some results here. In fact, there's one thing here about how women who fasted fewer than 13 hours each night appear to have 36% higher risk for recurrence of breast cancer compared to women who didn't eat for 13 hours or more. So you can actually prevent breast cancer by making sure that when the nighttime you don't eat for 13 hours. It's if you put that in your system, it becomes so simple. So these little things can actually help you in the long term. Also, there's another thing about this fact. Researchers found that each 2-hour increase in nighttime fasting was associated with longer duration of nighttime sleeping and lower hemoglobin A1C levels, a measurement of blood sugar, which the lower level indicates less risk of diabetes. Sicknesses can be eliminated, prevented. So it's just because you're following a system. So just imagine a 2-hour increase in the nighttime fasting has actually resulted in less risk of diabetes. So timing is everything. See, timing is everything. So bring that into your life so it becomes easy. A little bit by bit. I'll explain a little bit more about this. It really is very, very interesting having that life system upgrade. Just imagine like a computer system. So the second point I want to talk about. Upgrading your life system with less. Having less and the other thing is consuming a bit less. One thing about having less. For me, it has definitely improved my life. It has upgraded my life, even though I appear to have less. Live in a smaller place, have less things. I don't have a car. I walk everywhere as much as possible. I take public transport, which is more than 1 kilometer. In fact, last year, I took a challenge on myself. The whole of May, I did not take any public transport to test myself. And I covered 300 kilometers just walking. That's all over Singapore. When I go to work, I would bring a change of clothing and I would walk all the way to the meeting and then change there, bring walking shoes. So it was a wonderful, became so fit. So I was upgrading myself. I pushed myself and I found, wow, I've developed such strong legs and, I strengthened my calves. I strength really became much more powerful. So just by doing that, by doing away with things which just seem to be, which appear necessary for some people, but not really necessary. So you can upgrade your life system by doing with less. I eat less food. Sometimes I eat a little bit more, but most times I eat less. It is really increased my energy level. I just completed the 4-day fasting. I just had water for 3 days, no food at all for 4 days. For first day, I prepared myself by taking juice. I feel really vibrant now. I feel like I'm ready to take on so much more. And it's something which I do quite regularly. 3 days or 5-day fasting, I do twice a year. I probably will do more because I've been practicing for 4 years. And since that, I've got rid of a lot of my allergies. So I've actually upgraded my system. I've changed my DNA by doing with less. It does so much more. So having less and consuming less. Consuming less not just in terms of eating, but also in terms of having things, buying things and clothes. And I have minimal in terms of minimal number of shoes, or only when I need it. I have minimal number of bags. I have probably like about 3-4 bags. That's it. So that's the thing. It's so much easier, less clutter in my mind. The third point I want to talk about is it's so important to have small, regular upgrades. Computer system, your mobile system, you have patches, right? You do small upgrades before there is a major system upgrade from 1.0 to 2.0. You have 1.1, 1.2. So same thing with our own life. You don't need to be extreme that you suddenly make this huge change. You can do upgrades. So weekly you can add something new. You can, let's say, you decide, okay, I'm going to stop having red meat. I've not had red meat for 5 years now. It's amazing for me how it's improved my health. So I did it bit by bit. Same thing for sugar. Sugar I've not had in my tea and coffee for about 6 years now. But how did I do it? Minor upgrades. First I would take 1 spoon of sugar, then I reduce it to half a teaspoon, then I reduce to 1/4 teaspoon, and then 0. And I didn't feel it because I actually liked it with the sugar less and less. And now I just cannot deal with having sugar in my coffee and tea. I just can't deal with it. So it becomes so much easier and relaxed for the system, less strain, because any strain on our body is not good for us. I'm not talking about positive stress that actually it works out the body. I'm going to talk about a strain that goes against what it's used to. So upgrade of system, minor upgrades, daily, weekly, monthly. Do it all the time. Plan it. Work out on your notepad, on your system, your life system, and draw it out. So, yes, before an entirely new operating system comes in. That's so wonderful. So the fourth point is, thinking about systems, is that be like an open system. You got a closed system, you got an open system. Those in technology. When I say open system, I mean really like an open system where you can bring in new facts, new ideas. And a person who is cynical who's closed-minded is not going to be willing to take on this. It's like a closed system. So when you have a mind of a child, you are removing the need to be cynical, you are removing the need to be always correct, and also you are excited when you hear new things. And when you hear new things, when you want to discover new things, when you want to have your curiosity, that allows you to bring in some amazing things into your life, amazing new information, allowing for an upgrade. As long as you remain a closed system, you're going to remain where you are. I developed a huge curiosity. This is one of the reasons why I launched my book. Was one of the reasons why I went into different things, which I never imagined I would go into. So, calls coming through. Okay, thank you very much. So, let me get back on track because there was a call coming through and I had to disconnect it. So that's the thing. The 4 points I talked about. Recap. Rhythm and timing. To upgrade our life system. Okay, I spoke about the nighttime fasting. I spoke about the body system, our life system. Timings for that. And the second point I talked about. Sorry again. Somebody tried to call again. Okay. Alright, let me get back to this. Upgrading your life with less. And then also be like an open system. And then go for small minor upgrades. Now I want to share as I close this particular poem which I wrote. Okay? The kingdom of God is not for the logical. It belongs to those with the heart and mind of a child. Always be curious. Be open. Spend time in discovery mode. Reading, questioning, and reflecting. Allow yourself to be in a state of wonder. You don't always have to know everything. Children question, adults silence. There are too many silencers in this world today. Be a questioner. Have the mind of a child. I thank you very much for listening into this, upgrading your life system.